Hey guys, what is up? NYKF31 here. Haven't done a Madden vid in a little bit outside of my online league game live streams. This is actually a condensed version of a game that I streamed about a week ago. I'll probably do that more, when I play these online league games because not everyone has time to, watch a hour and 15-minute archived league game vid unless you're sitting there in a live stream watching it live. So I think that would be useful. But anyway, it is officially that time. It's that time of year. Historically, it's late May, early June, where the information cycle for the next Madden game starts to come out. In this case, Madden 19, obviously. And we got our first little tidbits of what's to come. And this will go on for the next several weeks, going into June and July, and up until the game releases in early August. This is the beginning of what is dubbed the Madden Silly Season. The reason why it's called the Madden Silly Season is that you see a lot of madness going on in the Twitter and YouTube world by full-blown grown men over this game. There'll be lots of speculation, lots of innuendo, lots of overreaction one way or the other, and really, the thing to do is just have fun and enjoy it. If you're someone who plays the game, enjoys playing the game, this is a good time of year because you'll have fresh stuff to talk about because, quite frankly, playing the game right now, there's not a whole heck of a lot to do. My online CFNs here, they're winding down. There's nothing to really stream if you're a MUT content creator. If you are an offline franchise mode content creator, you're probably well on your last legs by now. And basically, we're all just friggin' burned out. I've been playing MLB The Show franchise mode like crazy. I'm like 45 games in. I'm playing PES, I'm playing NBA Live, NCAA 14. There's not really a whole heck of a lot going on in the Madden 18 world right now this late in the year, so this is really a jolt of fresh air, and it's good to be excited and hopeful for what the new game will bring. However, at the same time, just realize, what this is. It's a gradual, momentum-building, marketing build-up that will peak, in the first week of August. If you're someone who doesn't like the game, then none of this matters to you, or shouldn't matter. You may be someone who's sitting on the sidelines, just waiting to see the approach. You might not have any interest in the game, no matter what is done. You may have your mind made up that you're going to go other directions with things like Access Football, whatever it may be. The big thing is, just do you, enjoy what you enjoy, because what you'll end up seeing inevitably are all these little cat fights between these grown-ass men over this game. And it's just unnecessary to get involved in that because really, you're just wasting precious oxygen on things that you could be doing that you would enjoy because you're not going to change anybody's mind. You have people who have tweeted that they like Madden 18 just fine the way it was. There's a guy who I follow who's been playing Madden forever, who's a pretty well-known guy on the competitive side of the game, and to him, this is one of the better Maddens he's ever played. You have guys who tweet, I'd be straight with Madden if they just fixed these one or two things. And what are you going to do? What am I going to do? Tell them, go screw yourself, you're wrong? That's their experience. People are going to like what they like. And I find that a lot of people's opinions are often skewed by the game modes they play the most. For example, I retweeted a tweet by someone about a week ago who they said that they think MLB The Show is trash. They think MLB The Show, out of the games that are out now, sports game-wise, is worse than Madden, FIFA, NBA 2K. And based off of what? He's talking about from strictly an online head-to-head competitive gaming aspect. Now, someone like me, who just plays MLB The Show offline, I'm like, okay, I can't relate to that. I'm having a great time. I've played darn near 50 games already, every single one. I haven't seen a single thing in any of them. And I think the game is great. Two completely different perspectives on the same game based off of two entirely different game modes. But what are you going to do? People are going to like what they like, so don't get caught up in trying to shoehorn what you think into someone else's head. You're not a better person based off of what video game you like. That may come as a shock to some people, but that is the truth. At the end of the day, no one cares. We're going about our merry way and enjoying what we enjoy. As far as timelines for what we're going to find out and when, according to the dates that have been posted, content on the 28th of May, gameplay on the 4th of June, enhanced controls on the 9th, franchise news on the 11th, presentation on the 18th, graphics on the 25th, ratings in July sometime, and release date 8/10, Hall of Fame edition release date 8/7. I'm not sure when EA Play is this year. I'm kind of out of the loop on that. So we'll probably be getting some information from guys who will be attending that in the coming weeks. And hopefully we don't get a situation like we had last year where the game was received really well by pretty much everybody within all different factions of the Madden community. Whether you are a simulation gamer and follow the sim guys on YouTube, a competitive guy, casual, somewhere in between. Everyone came back just universally positive about what they saw and experienced in the game. And then a month later or so, the game is watered down. And then later on, when the game releases, we have a game where if you're not completing at least 90% of your passes, you're doing something wrong because nothing in coverage works whatsoever. Those are the kind of things that we have to get past as far as this game is concerned. What ends up happening, or what has ended up happening over the past couple of years, that the first version of the game that people have played has usually ended up being the best version. And the game gradually gets stripped, watered down with patches and tuners due to people not wanting to adapt and change their bad habits. We went through this with Madden 17. I was involved in the beta testing of Madden 17. And when I was going through that, I was like, man, we are right there. We are right on the cusp. Was it all sunshine and rainbows? No, I had a list of about 50 items I submitted that I felt needed to be cleaned up. But I could see that the foundation for the game was there, and that it was a sound base pass rush, really good. The foundation for pattern match zone close logic was there. Not as extensive and fleshed out as I would have liked it, but the foundation was laid out. I was seeing defensive line animations that I haven't seen in the game since. And why is that? Because when the game dropped, after a couple of weeks of people getting their head kicked in because they want to release all 5 of their receiving options on 3rd and long against a good defensive line and getting their heads kicked in, and their quarterback's fumbling because they're getting rid of the ball too late, out came the whining and complaining, in came the patches and tuners, and then we were with a game where if you were playing MUT salary cap ranked, you were having bottom of the rung, bronze level defensive linemen blocking legend Lawrence Taylor. The defensive line and pass rusher, overhand, chop, ball strip, pass rush animation, gone. I can't remember the last time I've seen that animation in the game. QB sack fumbles, in general, greatly reduced to the point of it's not even a factor anymore. And then going through the cycle of people complaining about that and yo-yoing the game to this weird state where it was in between where it was at release and after the first patch. And we went through similar things as Madden 18 with the constant tuning and adjusting to compensate for trying to find a balance between competitive and sim game mode, which I don't think was really achieved all year long. And those are, factors that I feel contributed to Rex no longer being there. His vision of the game being compromised for the sake of things like long shot and the competitive gaming world, and also the community pushing back somewhat when gameplay elements were introduced to ratchet up the authenticity and not being able to or being unwilling to adapt to that. So what ends up happening? You have a game where there's no fear of covering the Gronkowskis and Julio Jones of the world one-on-one at all, practically ever, because most of their contested catch chances that they're going to get are going to be dropped. And you have a game where you need to have a 91 zone coverage threshold in order to play any pass defense whatsoever. I think those things really held the game back this year, among other things. It's unfortunate to see Rex leave. I thought that he was a positive for the game altogether. Not everything on his watch was a hit. Nothing ever is 100% that way. But overall, I thought he fought the good fight. I thought he wanted the right things. He was not afraid to speak his mind. And I think that he was an advocate for all of us who want to see the game continue to grow and improve. I'm glad that Clint is still there and that he got himself a bit of a bump. Guys like Anthony White as well. I think it's important to have that kind of continuity. And again, those are guys who want the same things that guys like myself want when it comes to football, X's and O's and whatnot. So with all that being said, we'll just have to wait and see how all this plays out over the coming months. All that we can do now is just sit back, wait, have some fun speculating on social media, hopefully not take ourselves too seriously, and just enjoy it all. And as this game winds down late into the fourth quarter, that's pretty much all I got to say. As far as the beginning of the Madden 19 news cycle gets going. And y'all can watch how the rest of this game plays out. This has been an interesting league to play in. It's on all Madden, adjusted sliders. One of the more challenging sets that I've played on. When you combine the all Madden difficulty to slider settings, it can be a challenging affair if you dig yourself into a hole, because the pass coverage and the pass coverage reaction sliders are all the way maxed out, and the speed parity has been reduced. So you saw an example of that there, where tight throw, tight window, INT. It ain't no joke out in these streets of these sliders. But anyhow, that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will talk to you later. Peace.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Now, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. But, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Tennessee, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long, everybody.